તમારા આ કેસ માટે કોઈ વકીલ રોકેલા છે તમે? જામીન એટલે જામીન અરજીની સુનાવણી થશે. હા, તમારા કેસમાં પેલા સાંભળો મને. તમારો જે કેસ છે ને સેશન્સ કેસ 2/2021 એમાં કોઈ વકીલ રોક્યા છે આપના કેસ લડવા માટે? રોકેલા છે ને, પણ તો હવે એમને કહેજો કે વકીલાતનામું રજૂ કરે. આ સેશન્સ કેસમાં કોઈ વકીલ તરીકે કોઈ હાજર નથી થયું. હવે હું કવિ સાંભળી લ્યો પેલા ને સમજી લ્યો. એ તમારી જામીન અરજીના વકીલ રોક્યા હશે. આ સેશન્સ કેસ નામે, હા, સેશન્સ કેસમાં કોઈ વકીલ તરીકે હાજર નથી થયું. છેલ્લા લગભગ 1-1.5 વર્ષ થયા જ તમને મુદતો જ આપીએ છીએ. આપનો કેસ ચાલતો નથી, જેલમાં છો ને તમે? નહીં સર, મારી 6 મહિના કસ્ટડી છે. પેલા જામીન મળે છે, 6 મહિના કસ્ટડી થઈ ગઈ. 9મા મહિને 11 તારીખે પકડાયો. અચ્છા, એવું છે? હા સર, 9મા મહિને 11 તારીખે પકડાયો. જામીન મળે છે આ કેસમાં મને પકડ વોરંટ. સારું, કઈ વાંધો નહીં. હવે આ કેસમાં તમારા વકીલને કેજો હાજર થઈ જાય. હા, આ છેલ્લી મુદત આપીએ છીએ, નહીતર પછી કાનૂની સહાયમાંથી વકીલ આપી દઈશું તમને. નહીં સાહેબ, મારો છે વકીલ. હા. 11 સેક્શન 31/21 મનોજભાઈ પૂછ્યું તો જજમેન્ટ માટે છે. બાકી છે શું કામ બાકી છે? તમારી પાસે ઓપ્શન નથી. એને બાકી રાખીએ છીએ. આરોપીને જવા દેજો. જી સર. સેક્શન 61/21 યસ પટેલ ને બોલો.
અહીંયાનો એક રિપોર્ટ આવ્યો એમ જ છે. ઓકે સર, આ જોઈએ સાહેબ થોડી.
રિપોર્ટ આવ્યો પછી રાહ જોવાનું કેમ?
નહીં, બીજામાં
એને બાકી રહે. 121 માં શું છે?
સાહેબ એમાં 7 આરોપી એરેસ્ટ થઈ ગયા છે. હવે આગળનો પુરાવા માટે છે. આરોપી અત્યાર સુધી વોન્ટેડ હતા.
કયો આરોપી?
61/21 માં
વોન્ટેડ હતો.
એ તો 3 મુદત પહેલા હાજર થઈ ગયા છે.
હા, હાજર થઈ ગયા છે. એ તો
હા તો સમન્સ કાઢી દઈએ સાહેબ.
ના, ના.
સમન્સ
આયો જ બાકી છે.
વોરંટ ઇસ્યુ કરો ને નથી.
અરે ભાઈ ઉભા કરો, એમનો વોરંટ નહીં, પેલા તપાસ કરીને કયો વોરંટ.
હા પણ નથી આયા સાહેબ.
ના તો એને કયો આવે, તમારા ઓલાને કયો ફોન કરે એને.
સમન્સમાં સાહેબ 10:30 વાગ્યાનો ટાઈમ લખીએ છીએ, નહીં કે 11 વાગ્યા કે 12 વાગ્યા.
તો ચાર્જશીટ ના પાનામાં એપીપી એ કેસ ચલાવશે બધું સમૂહ એ નહીં જોવાનું હોય છે. જો ને ક્યાંથી છે,
જોઈ લો, ફોન કરાવું.
ફોન કરાવીને કયો, સીધે સીધું વોરંટ ના કરાવો.
સર લાસ્ટ ટાઈમ ગાંધીનગર થી આયા હતા એ વખતે, એક 6-12 મહિના પહેલા, 6-1 મહિના પહેલા આયા હતા ત્યારે.
કોણ?
આયુ
એ વેરાવળ થી આવે કે એ સબ્જેક્ટ નથી. 10:30 વાગે હાજર નથી.
ત્યાં હતા એમ.
રાહ તો જો
હાજી.
આવ્યો તો મુદત જોઈશ તમે.
ના ના
નથી
નથી
જોતી ને.
ના.
હા, અત્યારે બેસો ને, જે આવશે રાહ જોઈએ આપણે.
હાજી.
એને ભજ્યું છે કે નથી ભજ્યું? ભાઈ તમારા તરફે મુદત રિપોર્ટ હતો એનો.
મારા તરફે
તમારા તરફે જ હોય ને.
જોઈ લઉં સર.
તમારા સાક્ષી માટે બીજું કોણ આપે? વોરંટ કઢાઈને કેન્સલ તમે જ કરાવશો પછી?
હું નહીં કરું.
ના ના, તો કોણ આવે છે?
તો કરાવશે.
કોણ કરાવે?
પ્રાઇવેટ વકીલ.
જોઉં છું હું તમે બધા પ્રાઇવેટ કેવા રખાવો. વાતું કરવી છે ખાલી, પછી ઓલા આવે તો 2 દી પહેલા આવી જાવ છો તમારા ડીસીપી ને બોલાવી, તો કે સાહેબ આને હા સ્પેશિયલ પીપી ની હાજરીમાં સાક્ષી રહેલો સ્ટેટમેન્ટ. હા એટલે સ્ટેટમેન્ટ તમે સાક્ષી છો કે ઈ નહીં કરાવે હવે કેન્સલ. ના આ તો ચાલુ જ છે ને, આ ચા ઓપન છે. ચાલો 200 રૂપિયા ડન કરીશ, વધારે નહીં હવેથી.
સાહેબ 200, હું તો કહું 500 કરજો.
ના ના 200 માં જ બહુ થઈ જાય એમ. ચાલો 10 નંબર. આરોપી નથી ન હોય તો NBW પર ના આવજો. તારીખ ને કઈ 15/3
સેશન 57/22 બ્રિજેશ પટેલ બ્રિજેશ પટેલ
EIT બંદોબસ્તમાં છે. હેલો, EIP બંદોબસ્તમાં છે.
અહીંયા કોઈ નથી અત્યારે. આજે કોણ છે? આજે કોઈ નથી અહીં.
સાહેબ અમિત શાહ આવે છે એવો.
ક્યાં આવે છે?
વેરાવળ.
આ વેરાવળ ના સાક્ષી છે. આપણે તો વેરાવળ છે તો રાજકોટ થી જ કયો વીસી માંથી લઈ લેવું આપણે. ઓલા ઓપન કર્યા છે ને તો
સાહેબ બંદોબસ્તમાં હશે તો ક્યાંથી આપશે?
ન જ આવે ને તમને. તો બાકીના 2 છે એ 3 જણાને કાઢ્યા છે.
કોલ આઉટ કરાવો ને.
કોલ આઉટ કરાવો હશે નહીં, અને પછી હરવે
મારી
તારીખ
રૂમમાં
નખાઈ
નથી
દે.
આવ્યા.
હવે એની વ્યક્તિઓને ખબર છે.
સેશન 75/22 ભારતીબેન જીવનભાઈ વેરિફિકેશન રિપોર્ટ
આરતીબેન એટલે એ પેલાના ઘરવાળા જ છે, 1000 રૂપિયા. જીવનભાઈ તો હશે ને.
ગાંધી સેશન 84 બાવીસ કોઈ સાહેબ પણ ચાલુ નથી સમસ્યા આવી
Pictures.
21 સાહેબ 21 172 22 આરોપી
જી સર
ફરિયાદી
ફરિયાદી આવી ગયા
ફરિયાદી હતી
એક વર્ષથી
ફરિયાદી available forward કરેલો હતું
આ એ પરત આવી ગઈ.
કોણ હાજર છે આજે આમાં?
ફરિયાદી પોતે
એને notice કરી હતી આજે રહેવા ફરિયાદી
બાકી રાખીએ.
સેશન 261 અશ્વિનભાઈ
યુટીપી
તારીખ આપો.
11 માર્ચ
એમાં સર હું લેખિત આપી દઉં છું
આજે આપો છો?
આપી દઉં
અત્યારે બાકી રાખી છે.
453 22 સર આરોપી નંબર 2 ફરી છે
જી.
નંબર હાજર છે જય
4 નંબરનો રિપોર્ટ
પંચ હાજર છે
લઈ લેજો.
સેશન 24/23 સર આરોપીને ભરતી કરી છે ફરિયાદ દેના
યસ, આમાં શું છે?
આમાં તો પેલા આઈઓ છે એ ગોહિલ નો ગઈ વખતે વોરંટ ઇસ્યુ કરેલું બીજી મુદત આ બીજા કેસમાં સર જુબાની હમણાં જ આપી ગયા એ વખતે ઇન્ફોર્મ કરવામાં આવેલું છે
આજે નથી આવ્યા.
હજુ આયા નથી
એનું આપણે બજી ગયું છે શું છે? એનબીડબલ્યુ હતું ને ડીએસપી મારફતે.
હા એનબીડબલ્યુ કાઢેલું
એસપી મારફતે બજાવવાનું કીધું. એ રિપોર્ટ કરો ને એસપી ને મોડ થઈ ગયું છે.
સેશન 118/23 સર આરોપી ભરતી કરી છે પાંચ વાગે ફંક્શન બોલેલું છે એટલે આયા 4 બંચ કરી છે
હજુ નથી હાજર.
4 બંચ કરી છે
બાકી રાખો.
સેશન 159/23 સર નંબર 2 ને એક્ઝામ્પશન અરજી કરેલી છે એક લોકોને વીસી રૂમથી આવી ગઈ છે નંબર 1 નવી ફાઇલિંગ એટલા હમણાં પછી ડેટ માંગેલી રિપ્લાય ફાઇલ કર્યા પછી પેજ નંબર 3 નોટ પ્રેઝન્ટ
3 તરફે શું છે?
પીસીએસ સિમ્બલ પેલા મની સોળ છે નહીં અદરવાઇઝ ડેટ કરવાનું જોઈએ હિયરિંગ માટે રાખવું છે
બાકી રાખીએ ને. આવવાના છે તમને ખ્યાલ હશે?
ના નથી કશું
નથી કીધું.
એકચ્યુઅલી કોઈ ફોન બેસે કશું
આ ઓળખતો
નથી એ લોકોને આ કોન્ટેક્ટ કોઈ જ
કોન્ટેક્ટ જ નથી.
ના સર બસ
હોય કઈ બધા તમે છો તમે
સાહેબ આવતા હતા સાહેબ એ મળી ગયા
પૂછો ને કે કઈ વાત થાય તો પૂછો ને કે ભાઈ આવવાના છે શું કરવાનું. એટલે મને જ કઈ વાંધો નથી. હું હાંજ લગી બાકી રહે.
પૂછી લો અમને
ઓલું તમને કોન્ટેક્ટ હોય તમે વહેલા ફ્રી થશો નહીતર એમને પડી રહેશે. બધાને તમે જ જોવો ભાઈ દરેક જગ્યાએ. હવે તમને ખબર જ હોય ને એકબીજાને પૂછી જુઓ ને આવવાના છે કે નથી આવવાના. તારીખ સાંજે નહીતર તારીખ સાંજે નહીતર પૂછી જોજો આવવાનું. Yeah, fine. Now three.
તો હું પછી
પછી
સેક્શન 175 ક્રેડિટ્સ આરોપી હાજરી કરી હપ્તે પંચો માંગે છે હજુ આયા નથી અને એક ડોક્ટરે વજે બધું છે
fine.
11-5 સેક્શન 287 રાजेश यादव मुकेश टीपी रावत राजेश यादव
No, it wouldn't be nothing.
and I invertals.
What's, I am aware of a strong disagreement by this honorable court for seeking time for rejoinder. I'm aware, my colleague had made a request, court had said that if you want to do it by that day. And I was held up in the High Court, unfortunately, I could not. If court permits me, I will not take more than 10 to 15 minutes.
I fail to understand the
Maharaj.
system and procedure.
My lords, it is definitely something wrong on
can't,
our part. Lords. I would not say that there is any not a fault with the system. It is something we should have been more vigilant in asking for oral rejoinder, oral submission for the
You
rejoinder.
can, because one after one, it makes the court believe that some kind of strategical plan
No,
is
my lord,
going.
what happened? No strategy. My lord, what
No,
happened is
It makes the court to believe.
fair, my lord. My lord, what happened was that earlier, when senior counsel made a rejoinder, and my lords, my clients who are watching from jail, they felt that my lawyer is not submitting
what-
orally.
That's what I granted time.
My lords,
Irrespective, the moment one files, thereafter a chain comes.
my lords, I follow, but
I am very much clear. This court will not run according the
fair.
wish of the accused person. That is very much clear.
My lord, it's not whims. it's-
And that I'm also conscious of the constitutional right of fair trial.
No, I would not get into all those
I'm
technicalities.
not
My
telling-
lords have always been fair with us.
I'm not
No,
telling-
not single
I
word
will
of
try to
complaint.
accommodate each and everyone within the limit of law, within the limit of rights.
My lords, therefore
it
I
can't-
said that it was one, on a personal note, one request is there, if court can grant me, not again.
I'm even not granting time to NIA also. He is also, I have passed orders also when they seek for time. You can ask, verify. It's a matter of
My
record.
lords, in all
And in this
sincerity
case only.
and all honesty, my lords, this honorable
Because
court has
one
been
after
very liberal, my
another,
lords.
one after
in-
another, one after another.
This honorable
record-
court has been very liberal in granting patient hearings. My lords, I have no, not even a one word of complaint against or the system.
There cannot be. Even the court.
No, I do not have,
No,
no,
no.
there cannot be, that's a fair statement, but I do not.
No one can have any complaint against any court, irrespective of
But
whatever.
I am very much, my lords,
But,
indebted to the honorable court. Just 10 minutes, my lords. સાહેબ નહીં વધારે હું
That
નહીં
makes the court see.
સાહેબ હું સમજુ છું I am probably going somewhat beyond my reasonable expectations, my lord, but સાહેબ 10 મિનિટ
You
વધારે
can come on the day which, see, this is the fourth date.
સાહેબ આના
વધારે.
પછી મારી સાઈડ થી એક પણ રિક્વેસ્ટ નહીં આવે
Then I would reject that request.
સાહેબ આજની જ વાત છે.
Now, if I grant one person, he would ask, you come fourth. Then someone would come, sir, now
Ji.
I also want to argue.
I can understand the constraints of the court. If court can just
I
grant
can't
time,
keep on rotating.
that should not happen. That should not happen.
And then what else you are going to submit? You have
Like,
already.
heading ખાલી
minutely-
કીધું, સાહેબ. If I can just tell the headings to the court. My lords,
We'll wait for your turn.
my-
Merely because this, we can't, see, advocate have a duty to tell their crime.
Lords, I have conveyed it as in duty bound to the honorable court to the accused persons, but I also felt that some part might be
also-
left out,
I'm
therefore
also
only I
open-
came.
I'm also open. And I'm very much conscious to see that each and every rights are being protected because I am as a court, not as an anything. even if the accused are unrepresented,
My lords.
at the cost of objection by the NIA, I am granting them time. I am making the legal aid counsel available to them.
My lords.
I
The
try to
honorable
see
court
that-
has been most
but,
fair.
then
lords.
it
Fair,
cannot
fair
be.
enough. lords.
Because once I start continuously, then it would be a no end process at the
Uh,
stage of framing of
I
charges.
fairly follow, but સાહેબ 10 મિનિટ હું એનાથી ઝડપથી conclude કરી દઈશ સાહેબ.
But then no one, I am making it clear to everyone who are in jail, who are present in the court, that today would be the last date for rejoinder
My lords.
and nothing else. And for you also, if you want to argue it today, then today. I will put an end to the arguments at least today.
જી સર પ્રોસિક્યુશન સાઇડ તરફથી બપોરે આપ સાહેબને ઝૂમ પરથી અપિયર થઈને
Anyway.
અંકિત કરી દેશે
That's
જી
fine.
સર જી સર અમારા તરફથી એ રીતે થઈ જશે.
Yes. You wait for your turn.
જી સર બિરાજવાડી છે હા. થઈ ગયું. હા જોગિંદર સિંહ માં સર આપે બે ક્વેરી કરેલી કે સપ્ટેમ્બર મહિનામાં એની વાત જે કયા મુજબ છે એ નથી આવતી તો સર સપ્ટેમ્બર મહિનામાં એક વસ્તુ છે
File આપો. એના છે એમના advocate.
અને એડવોકેટ પહેલી વાર બી મુદતમાં નતા સર મારા રિપ્લાય વખત
તો બાકી રાખો.
જી સર. વિરાજમાં રિપ્લાય ફાઇલ કરી દઉં છું
ટેમ્પરરી બેલ છે.
હા સર ટેમ્પરરી બેલ છે વિથ પોલીસ વેરિફિકેશન રિપોર્ટ સાથે હું ફાઇલ
Now what ground he is seeking temporary bail?
સર એના એની જામીન અરજી મને એવું જણાવ્યું છે કે
દીકરાની છે કે
हाँ
brother ની?
दिख रहा मुझे बेटे के ऑपरेशन के वास्ते 30 दिन के पैरोल किया देने की कृपा करे.
But your report says that
સર
it is
મારો
his
હા સર
brother.
એ થોડું ટાઇપોગ્રાફિકલ
Brother.
મિસ્ટેક છે બ્રધર લખ્યું છે એ ટાઇપોગ્રાફિકલ મિસ્ટેક છે એ
No,
સર
you
હું
have
એના
corrected from sons to brother.
હા સર હું કરી દઉં છું સર એ
No,
આપણે
you have already corrected.
હા સર
Now whether it is for his brother or son,
સન છે સર
you have corrected from here.
બ્રધર લખ્યું છે સર
It was already typed as son, but you have corrected it as brother.
જી તો સર એ
You reckon?
હું સર એ કરેક્શન ફરીથી કરી દઉં
The son ની છે કે brother ની?
સન ની લખ્યું છે આવું લખ્યું છે સર મેરે
કોની છે? son ની છે કે
બેટે
brother ની?
मेरे बेटे के ऑपरेशन वास्ते એની એપ્લિકેશનમાં સન જ લખ્યું છે મારી પાસે સર ઓરિજિનલ છે સન વાળું એ હું એડ કરી દઉં છું અને આપણે જે
ઓરિજિનલ
ઓરિજિનલ મતલબ જે કરેક્શન કર્યું છે ને એની જગ્યાએ ઓરિજિનલમાં સન જ છે એ રિપોર્ટ આપની સાથે એટેચ કરી દઉં છું. આપ જો સાહેબ પરમિશન આપો ને તો આ મારું
ઓલરેડી સબમિટેડ.
હા પણ એની અંદર બ્રધર લખ્યું છે કરેક્શન કરીને.
ઇટ વોઝ ઓલરેડી સન. યુ કરેક્ટેડ એઝ બ્રધર.
હા સર
આર યુ સ્લીપિંગ?
હા એટલા માટે જ સર આપને સનની જગ્યાએ બ્રધર કરી દીધું જે ઓલરેડી સન હતું.
Why don't you file the affidavit after having a cup of tea? It was written correctly, then you corrected as a brother.
નહીં સર
He is seeking for
જી 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 ફોર ધેટ યુ ઓનર આઈ એમ સોરી ઓનર એટલા માટે જ આપ તમને રિક્વેસ્ટ
એ શું કેવું તમારું આના?
સર આ મેડિકલ રિપોર્ટ અને મેડિકલ ડોક્યુમેન્ટ જોતા એવું ક્લિયર જણાઈ આવે છે કે મેડિકલ પેપર્સની અંદર ધેર ઇઝ નો એની સ્પેસિફિક સજેશન ઇન્વેસ્ટિગેશન રિપોર્ટ કે આનું ઓપરેશન કરવાનું છે.
ફેમિલીમાં કોણ કોણ છે?
જી સર
ફેમિલીમાં કોણ કોણ છે બીજા?
એના બ્રધ
કોના 4 બ્રધર છે?
મિરાજ રહેમાન
સૌથી મોટા છે ચારીના મધર છે સર એ સર
જી સર અભલાઈ સર
એના CRMA 10/2024 તમે જેલનું બંધ કરી દેજો. The applicant dash UTP Miraj Rahmani ઉર્ફે મિરાજ Abdul Sattar has preferred this application seeking temporary bail for a period of 30 days on medical ground of his son. The UTP was heard to jail receipt. It is stated by the applicant in his application that his son is required to undergo અને કઈ સર્જરીમાં જવાનું છે?
હા સર એમને કિડની સ્ટોન પ્રોબ્લેમ છે અને
સર્જરી
સર્જરી લખ્યું છે ઇન્દિરા ગાંધી હોસ્પિટલ ન્યૂ દિલ્હી.
kidney stone. He has annexed the copy of diagnostic report and treatment papers in support of his applications. He has urged that there is no one in his family who could manage the medical treatment, oblique surgery of his son. at New Delhi. Is accordingly urged to allow this application and he being released on temporary bail for a period of 30 days to perform to get his son operated for kidney stone problem. Next. Current Special PP Mr. So-and-so of the NIA has opposed the grant of temporary bail to the present applicant. He submits that the applicant is charged for the offences under section so-and-so. The case pertains to seizure of 38.994 kg of narcotic drugs, heroin, from 6 Pakistan national accused. It is stated in the affidavit filed by the NIA, bracket my exhibit report, that the family of the applicant consists of 6 siblings, bracket my 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Please go. The applicant is married to Salma Parvez, who is looking after this family. Please go. All the siblings are residing at New Delhi and they can remain present if the applicant's son is required to be operated for kidney problem. He has further stated that the medical case papers pertains to August 2023 and there is nothing on record of recent diagnosis from a medical treatment and when applicant's son, Mr. Kamil, KAMIL, is required to be operated. He is urged to reject. Third, so-and-so in jail video campaign and done a special duty so-and-so. The applicant, as UPP, has claimed is seeking temporary bail for a period of 30 days on the ground of medical treatment of his son, Kamil, who is stated to be suffering from kidney stone problem. The medical case papers annexed with the application pertains to August 2023. No specific date of surgery is mentioned in the application. Full stop. As per the affidavit filed by the additional SP, NIA, Mr. PPP Pirojia, there are the applicant is having 4 brothers and 2 sisters. At present, the son of the applicant is taken care by applicant's wife, Salma Parvez. The family members can look after the operation of applicant's son at New Delhi if the necessity arises. In view of the above, must be rejected. It is temporary. બંને માં આવી ગયા રિપોર્ટ
એક નંબર છે તો આપણે બાંધીનો વ્યક્તિને જેલમાંથી મોકલવા
જેલમાંથી નથી આવ્યો. બીજામાં
બીજામાં
પેલામાં 1401 માં જેલને કહી દો ને રિપોર્ટ મોકલી દે મંગાવ્યો છે मैंने बोला ना इमरान पे सोनू ने वो हमारी CRM 1402/2024 the applicant UTP Imran Urfe Sonu Mehboob by Saif has preferred temporary bail application from jail on the ground of financial crisis in his family due to his long confinement in jail. The applicant was ordered through jail video conferencing. He has stated before the court that he is behind the bar since last 30 months. His family consists of one younger sister who is residing alone. Full stop. His parents have passed away. Full stop. He, along with the sister, were residing together under the confinement of the applicant in jail. His sister is residing alone and is also suffering and is also remaining sick. Full stop. There is no one to provide financial support to his sister. He has urged the court to grant him temporary bail so that he can manage proper financial assistance for his younger sister. He assures the court that he will abide by any stringent conditions that may be imposed upon him while releasing him on temporary bail. Doesn't know what proposed with people. The reason कि applicant की sister है उसकी sister का ground जो लिखा है वो married है as per the report of the IO. Applicant sister Afsana Bani is married and is residing with her husband Asif Khan. Full stop. It is also stated by the police of Daniruna police station that the applicant is provided treatment from Sabarmati jail. The grounds stated by the applicant are not genuine and therefore his application should be rejected. Also, and sugar. Grounds में लिखते हैं the applicant has prayed to release him on temporary bail for a period of 30 days on the ground to support his family. He has contended that in his family, he and his sister are residing, and her sister is also remaining sick. Full stop. The report of the IU reveals that the applicant's sister, Afshana Banu, is married and is residing with her husband. Full stop. Even the statement of Afshana Banu dated 21/2/2024 reveals that she is married and is residing with her husband. In view of the above, the applicant has not stated correct fact before the court, and solely on this ground, his application requires to be rejected. He has also stated that he is required for proper treatment, as the medical treatment is not sufficient for his disease. The IO in his report has stated that whenever the applicant is required medical treatment, the Sabarmati jail is providing sufficient medical treatment to the applicant. The jail remarks of the applicant accused reveals that his jail conduct is not good, and he is also given jail punishment. In view of the above factors, not required. અને બોલાવો ને ઇમરાન ઉર્ફે સોનુ ને. કોણ છે ઇમરાનભાઈ? આવે છે? કેટલી વાર લાગશે એને?
કેટલી વાર લાગશે સેન્ટ્રલ જેલ?
આમાં 1401 માં રિપોર્ટ કહી દીધું અને બાકી રાખ. ચાલો હવે
તેમાં થોડી
શું છે આમાં?
એમાં સાહેબ ટ્રાન્સફર એક મેટર 81/2021 અહીંયા ચાલે, બીજી 516/2021 નીચે સાહેબ માનવીય ઠક્કર સાથે ચાલે. એટલે સાહેબ બંને સેમ ડે ક્રોસ કમ્પ્લેન થયેલી.
ક્રોસ કમ્પ્લેન થયેલી છે? ક્રોસ કેસ છે?
જી જી સર. એકનો સાહેબ 25 ફર્સ્ટ યર 25 છે અને એકનો ફર્સ્ટ યર 26 છે.
મેઇન કેસ કયો છે?
બંને 307 જ છે સાહેબ. એમાં સાહેબ એક રિક્વેસ્ટ હતી, નીચે કે ફરિયાદીને એટલે મેન્શન કરી જાય તો કોમ્પ્રોમાઇઝ છે.
એવું નહીં, રાતે ટ્રાન્સફર ની જ વાત કરું ને.
અચ્છા હો. વાંધો નહીં સાહેબ, તો 29 આપો.
29 નહીં, આજે જ નક્કી આને. તમે કયો ક્રોસ કેસ છે ને બંને?
હાજી.
ચાલો વેરીફાઈ કરો, પીપીન કયો વેરીફાઈ કરી. 29 કેમ કયો છો રાખવાનું?
સાહેબ ફરિયાદી બધા આવવાના છે, કદાચ જો જુબાની થઈ જાય
ક્યાં?
તો નીચે કેમ કે નીચે કદાચ સાહેબ 8 વિટનેસીસ થઈ ગયા
હા તો ભલે ને થઈ ગયું.
ઓકે ના સાહેબ મારે આપ નામ પર
અત્યારે ટ્રાન્સફર જ કરે ને આટલું.
હા સાહેબ એ ફાઇલ કરીને પછી 4 વિટનેસ નહીં થયા
કઈ ન કરો ને 408 ની બદલે 482 માં વયા જાવ.
સાહેબ ઓલરેડી ફાઇલ કરેલી પણ કોર્ટે છે ને 28 તારીખ આપી એટલે મેં સાહેબને રિક્વેસ્ટ કરી કે સાહેબ વિટનેસ બોલાવે તો 29 રાખી દો એટલે
કઈ
પૂરું.
કોર્ટમાં છે?
ત્યાં હાઈકોર્ટમાં છે સાહેબ
તો કઈ કોર્ટમાં?
સાહેબ એ હાઈકોર્ટના લોયર છે પણ એટલું મને ખબર છે કે 28 ફેબ્રુઆરી
અને બધું હાઈકોર્ટના લોયર ઉપર હું કેમ રાખો? તમે સ્ટેટસ જોઈ લ્યો ને.
સાહેબ નીચે તો હું મારી રીતે સાહેબ ટ્રાયલ કન્ડક્ટ કરું જ છું
ટ્રાયલ નહીં, કઈ કોર્ટમાં છે એટલે ખબર પડે.
સાહેબ જાણવું પડે.
બધી ખબર હોય હવે. આ ઓનલાઈન
ના,
નો
ના,
જમાનો
ના, ખરેખર ખરેખર સાહેબ જેન્યુઅલી
ચાલો એટલે 29 કયો છો?
હા એટલે સાહેબ કદાચ
બસ આપણે 29 રાખું.
હા સાહેબ
બંને દાખલ કરેલી છે?
હા બંને બંને કન્સેન્ટ થી છે
બંને સામસામી કન્સેન્ટ
જી
કરી.
જી,
ચાલો હાલો એને 29 તારીખ.
જી ઓકે.
લાવો ઇમરાનભાઈ.
ઇમરાનભાઈ
perfect. હા તમારે બેન કેટલા છે? એ તમારી સાથે રહે છે? કોની સાથે રહે છે?
खाला એટલે માસી, मुस्लिम में खाला એટલે માસી.
अच्छा, मासी के साथ रहती है? उसकी शादी हो गई है? उसका नाम क्या है? अफसाना नाम है? उसकी शादी नहीं हुई है? लाओ तुम्हारी मासी कहाँ रहती है? तुम्हारी मासी कहाँ रहती है?
कहाँ रहती है?
અહીં અમદાવાદમાં જ આવી છે.
सालम आवे।
દાણા લીમડી પાસ, દાણા લીમડા પાસ, દાણી લીમડા પાસ.
और ये तुम्हारा आसिफ खान कहाँ रहता है? तो ये छोड़ के चला गया ऐसा तुम बता रहे हो? खबर नहीं है? अच्छा। तो हर बार तुमको जो पूछते उसका गलत जवाब क्यों देते हो? तुम्हारी बहन का स्टेटमेंट लिया है, वो बता रही है वो अपने हस्बैंड के साथ ही रहती है। तो तू 3 महीने से जेल में है तो कोर्ट जब पूछती है तब गलत बात बताते हो? तेरे को ये पता है कि तेरी बहन मानती है ऐसा तू बोल रहा है, और जब कोर्ट पूछती है तब गलत बात बताते हो? चलो तुम्हारी एप्लीकेशन रद्द कर दी है। लगजो के even when the court inquired the applicant UTP did not disclose the correct fact before the court and continued to misguide the court with regard to her sister whether residing with him or not. Having perused the statement of applicant's sister Afsana Banu dated 21/2/2024, she has specifically stated that she is residing with her husband Asif Khan, and she has 3 children, which includes 2 daughters and 1 son. The applicant conduct of telling false facts and misleading the court is itself a ground to reject his application. रिजेक्टेड। जेल कंडक्ट भी लिख देना साथ में जो लिखा है। चल, पूरा हो।
સર તમે વાત કરી ફોન પર એવું ને કેવું છે કે હું આજે ધોળકા કોર્ટમાં રોકાયો છું મારે વિદ્યાર્થી અરજી આપવા માટે આવવાનો છે.
ये आवे પછી આ જવાબ તારીખ મુહૂર્તથી જોઈ લેજો.
Please.
ચાલ, પૂરો તમારું એવિડન્સ પછી લઈ જશે એનઆઈએ
જી
ડિસ્ચાર્જ નું હિયરિંગ.
જી
એની પાસે છે digital.
કોનામાં આપવાનું છે હવે?
This rejoinder would be in reference to accused number 1 and 2 and partly for Mr. Pradeep, he is accused number 5.
Yes.
Yes. A bunch I'm going to supply to the Honorable Court. Before I get into all the details, I had an opportunity.
Yes.
I may just provide the brief headings why I requested for a oral rejoinder. There are certain aspects in which the NIA has supported and made great arguments to support the case of the prosecution. One is that there is a reference of khajur, and that khajur is being used in reference to some code word for a narcotic substance. Another question which was raised by NIA was, counsel for NIA was, that why Sudhakar is taking interest in reference to the consignments which do not belong to him, particularly a consignment of coal, where he has no role to play, why he was taking that interest in reference to that coal consignment. So I would just answer that part to the Honorable Court. Apart from that, my endeavor would also be to point out to the court what NIA submitted was that the aspect of seal mismatch, which I harped upon at the time of my first hearing, that the seals which came, the containers which came in a sealed condition from Iran to India, Mundra port, they were in a sealed condition and seals were proper, and there was a seal mismatch only when the containers were sent to TG terminal. The response of NIA was that these containers were the punching of the seals, marking, that was a human error, and there was a improper sealing, and it was just discovered at a later stage, but which is not the case. And apart from that, there are a few other aspects which I will point out to the Honorable Court in my flow, but largely khajur, coal, seal mismatch, and one important aspect qua Pradeep will be one allegation or one imputation against Pradeep is that the very day on which the godown at Alipur, which was going to be searched through sweeping, he left the godown. It is not a case. Even before one would come to know that this godown is to be searched, he had handed over the keys because the business was not working in a proper fashion, and therefore Pradeep had handed over the keys to the owner. So that part I would like to point out to the Honorable Court. So with a view to see that I do not take so much of time because it's already heard, I would just cursorily point out where the reference to Khajur and coal is pointed out by NIA. I don't know, read that part. My explanation, I would definitely read. But in my PDF, Honorable Court may keep marking at the references which are pointed out by NIA for reference to Khajur. It is at page number 4, point number 6, 7, 10. Again at page number 7, point number 4, 10. These are the references to Khajur. Page number 10, point number 1, 2, and 3. Everywhere, NIA is pointing out that why are you taking so much of interest in Khajur? And therefore, the interest taken by Sudhakar in Khajur is in reference to a code word, and that is narcotic substance. Not to that extent, I would like to point out that one container laden with Khajur was stuck up. It was shipped to Flamingo Logistics. It was stuck up. It was shipped in March. But because Sudhakar was so prompt in clearing the first consignment, he was receiving the calls from Afghanistan that Sudhakar bhai, please also try to look into this. My container is stuck up. Eventually, it was auction sold. All these details are there in the records of NIA. So that part I have to point out to the Honorable Court. If court may see, the things will become very clear in a moment. Honorable Court may turn to page number 94. This is very important.
94 of your compilation.
हाँ साहब, मारा compilation में page number 94 ऊपर. If Honorable Court may see description of goods part, it is VAT dates. પહેલી ત્રણ રોમાં શિપર, કન્સાઇની, નોટિફાય અને પછી તે ડિસ્ક્રિપ્શન ઓફ ગુડ્સ છે. એની અંદર વેટ, ગ્રોસ વેટ અને પછી કોમોડિટી છે. If Honorable Court may see, this is a bill of lading. And in this bill of lading, this is consigned in the name of Flamingo Logistics. This particular consignment was stuck up. If Honorable Court may see, there is total one container consignment. All the details are provided. And Honorable Court may see at the next page. This is important because it is in reference to the same consignment. Even pages are also 1616, 1617. They are in continuity. Honorable Court may see the date 5/3/2021. Just to brush up the memory of the court, I came into the people from in the contact of people from Afghanistan and Iran on 31st of May 2021 when the TELC group was created. I am not even aware when this consignment is shipped. This is the consignment in reference to which Honorable Court may again see this consignment has come from Iran. This is VAT dates. Sab khajur che. આ ડેટ્સનું ગુજરાતી ખજૂર છે, હિન્દી ખજૂર છે, અને therefore in reference to this dates there is a communication કે આ ખજૂર release નથી થઈ રહી, it is stuck up, and therefore because one consignment containing talcum powder was cleared by Sudhakar, he was receiving the calls that can you check whether this consignment can be cleared through your knowledge in the shipping clearance. It's a complicated regulatory procedure, and therefore he was getting the calls. In this reference, Sudhakar has already provided a necessary explanation also, and that explanation, if Honorable Court may turn, it will become clear from page number 26 onwards. Statements of Sudhakar and Rajkumar would match. Also in reference to coal also, this will match. Therefore, the query and the pointed allegation against Sudhakar is that he was involved in Khajur, that is narcotic substance. That is wrong, and also his involvement in coal is also properly explained by Sudhakar when Honorable Court may see the title of this document is Explanation for Data Extracted from the Mobile Phone Seized from Arrested Accused Person Machavaram Sudhakar. Notes here, the relevant part would begin I have read certain parts of this. Honorable Court may turn to page number 31. If I may read from here, I will go little fast because it just to build some context I have to read, but relevant part I will read slowly and with more harping upon. Shri Padivel clicked on the contacts which showed for 4108 contacts saved in his mobile phone handset. Further, accused Sudhakar voluntarily explained and disclosed about some of the contacts related to persons involved in the execution of consignment imported from Afghanistan via Bandar Abbas, Iran in June 21 and September 21 in the name of Ashi Trading as follows. Accused Sudhakar stated that this mobile number saved as XRIL belongs to Rajkumar Perumal, resident of Coimbatore, my colleague at Ramco Industry and co-accused in the case. Accused Sudhakar stated that this mobile number so-and-so saved as Iran Javed belongs to Javed person of Iran who was introduced by Rajkumar Perumal, my colleague at Ramco Industry and co-accused in the case in May 2021 for importing the consignment of semi-processed talcum powder from Bandar Abbas Port, Iran. Javed used to communicate in English only and I used to share PTT audio files on WhatsApp group TELC in English as one of the foreign languages which I don't know. I used to communicate with Javed only through WhatsApp call and chat messages and PTT audio clips. Now, this is important at page number 33. Accused Sudhakar stated that this mobile number ending with 262 saved as Amit Delhi belongs to Hamid is residing in Delhi. Amit was introduced by Hussain Shah on 18th June 21 by sharing the contact number of Amit as a contact person for India for selling the consignment locally. Amit used to speak in Hindi language. I used to call normal him on this phone number, my mobile number. I used to speak with him in Hindi on direct call from another number. Mobile number so-and-so of Amit, Hamid was not on WhatsApp and I have never seen him. I have never met him. However, I can identify his voice. He might be about 52 years of age. Now, this is important. I will read with little more harping upon. Sudhakar stated that this mobile number saved as Rajesh Goba belongs to a person, Rajesh Goba, resident of India. I don't know specific place in India. Rajesh contact number was shared by Hassan Shah, resident of Afghanistan, on my WhatsApp on 24th of June as an actual importer for coal consignment in June 2021, which was imported from Afghanistan sent by Hassan Hussain to know the position of consignment delivery from Rajesh and update the same to Hussain Shah. However, Rajesh didn't answer my call. Further, I also tried to contact Rajesh through WhatsApp, but the same was not replied by Rajesh. Accordingly, I updated about the same to Hussain Shah. So here I pause. The allegation that why he was involved in the coal consignment, the answer is that another consignment was shipped by Hassan Hussain. He tried to contact Rajesh Goba. He didn't answer. Therefore, he said that told Sudhakar that please try to contact him. Being a local, you may be able to contact. He is not receiving my call. And therefore, ultimately, he tried to contact, but the contact could not be made. So, allegation qua coal part stands explained. Now, I read further. Accused Sudhakar stated this mobile number saved as Raju Dubai belongs to a person, Raju, resident of Dubai. Raju's contact number was shared by Hassan Shah, resident of Afghanistan, on my WhatsApp number in the month of June 2021, as Raju had sent dates, Khajur, consignment from Gulf country to Mundra port. And Hussain asked me to know about the status of consignment and update him. In this regard, I had some doubts about the importer and receiver of the goods in India, on which I spoke with Raju through WhatsApp call, on which I came to know that his company has a registered free zone area in Delhi, but the said consignment was booked on the address of Mundra instead of Delhi and could be delivered at Delhi. I just updated this thing on the TELC group. Lord Sudhakar, without knowing that there is a larger conspiracy hatched among these individuals in Dubai, because he is taking this Hussain Shah in good faith. Hussain Shah is inquiring with him that please inquire about the status of these dates, which are sent from some Gulf country, for which I pointed out to the Honorable Court the bill of lading also. And therefore, he inquired just that what is the status of these dates. It was in this reference that ultimately there is a reference to Khajur. Now, certain important parts I would point out to the court.
Your rejoinder was only for 10 to 50 minutes.
સર ખજૂર વાળો અને કોલ વાળો પાત તો પતી ગયો. હવે મારે વધારે એમાં કઈ રહેવાનું છે નહીં આમાં. સાહેબ,
Your case from the beginning was that
Hmm.
you had dealing with this Hussain Shah only for the consignment of
Talcum powder, semi-processed talcum powder.
Now it comes that you also were asked to get clearance of dates.
But I have never done it. They inquired. They said that you inquire. I tried to inquire, but beyond which I have not done anything. But yes, facts should be clear to the Honorable Court. Ultimately, it's a prerogative of the Honorable Court to ask the question and then deal with the answers which are submitted by us. Notes page number 67 may be seen. With regard to the following screenshot, I state that Rajkumar had shared the images
That
of
your
dates.
contention is that you were not aware, you were introduced by Raju Perumal to wanted accused number 1, Hussain Shah,
Yes, sir.
and now this record reveals that not only for toll group, Hussain Shah used to ask you to verify about his date consignment also.
About his date
Meaning
consignment,
thereby that you were in at least good contact with him. It
I was
not-
in contact.
And secondly, your I don't know whether I should clarify, because all of you are expert in reading the minds. Once you say that when Raju Dubai asked you for dates, Khajur consignment, you verified and you doubted that consignment also.
No, doubted in that sense that there is a
Because
custom
that,
clearance process. And when consignor and consignee details,
That means that you are having sufficient knowledge that you can doubt the consignment.
my lord, it can be
If you can
interpreted
doubt
that way.
for Khajur, why didn't you doubt for the semi-processed Talkstone also? And that too with as per your say that you never had any kind of relation with wanted accused number 1.
My lord, sir,
Now, if you didn't had any contact, you were introduced by number 3, and how one could believe very innocently that you came in contact with mere coincidence, it was mere coincidence. You were to get only 30,000, 40,000 rupees per consignment.
my lords, that cash explanation is also there. I
No,
would just
because-
give one-liner submission because this is my
if you were,
rejoinder.
We are totally unknown to the wanted accused number 1
My
of
lords,
Afghanistan, with whom you have never met as per your case.
right,
You were introduced only by Perumal through that too, also by telephone or WhatsApp chat
Right.
group.
right.
Then how would you start working on every instruction of that wanted accused person?
My lords, one consignment came to be cleared. That was a consignment in June. It came to be cleared. Once that consignment is cleared,
Because no
Mr.
one in
Sudhakar-
this world, you can't get even a copy of Xerox without anything.
my lords,
Now, why would you desire yes,
my lord, my
So-
answer would be this.
to work for a person whose consignment of date also you doubted?
My lords, doubt in that sense
What
that
will your
how the
relationship
custom
that you-
clearance things is to be done. Because when there is in the custom area, when there is a warehouse, there are duty differences.
Either see, there are two things. Either you would have done for some monetary consideration from wanted accused number 1. Maybe you are knowing, not knowing, that is not a question. You can't give, one can't believe okay, you would help a person across the border whose consignment you yourself doubt. And that then you say, okay, no, without any, I merely inquired from so and so.
My lords, I have my own limitations in discharge. This is required, my lords. I follow the query of the Honorable Court. I would just say and submit this way. But on a last date, I was not available. I asked some friend of mine that you just point out to the Honorable Court that I may want to submit my rejoinder. So, my lord, somebody extends the helps in a regular course of business, my lords. When you are seeking a help, what help he has done? He has not done the customs
Yes, you are
clearance.
right. One can he is associated with you. Therefore, he mentioned on your behalf. He is a person whom you know.
That is
You are
correct.
coming together.
That is correct. But I
Now-
have proven my knowledge in customs clearance processes. And he believes this guy is giving an impression that you are a person who can get these goods clear. At least you inquire with the customs authority where this is stuck up. My only intention to point out is,
I will not go beyond the India's limit. An advocate from Delhi, he comes here. He engages some advocate here for his assistance. Would the advocate here, he would do for nothing? At least a token amount. At least a token amount.
but if there is a regular course of business with them, there is a business. There was first consignment is in June and another in September. Otherwise not. If there is no previous business relation, one would not do it. But because there is a business relation, somebody is saying that just please inquire.
Business relation with,
My lords, see, there are three players. One is Javed, who is sitting in Iran.
see, your case, this was for example, that a colleague advocate, a friend would come and mention before the court on your behalf.
My lords.
Now, your colleague would have also told you, "Yes, sir, it's very hard, judge. Huh? It's very difficult." I'm damn sure he would have conveyed this to you.
Yes, that
Therefore,
was
he
conveyed.
made his request to his best, then he left it.
So here also
You
he
are
tried to inquire about dates
you are-
and then he left it. Coal.
Now, if he had argued matter, he had got a negative result.
No,
then
no,
would be-
then it would have been an entirely different scenario. But the allegation is that he is involved in a coal consignment and dates consignment. And date is not actually khajur, date is actually a narcotic substance. Therefore, at least I need to show the context, background in which he inquired about the consignment of the date.
You're right. But along with what you want to project, some other things are also getting visualized.
Milords, I cannot run away from the facts and the interpretation that may spill out through the facts, Milords.
There cannot be interpretation of facts.
Milords, some projection and some certain projections from the
Together.
facts.
Because so far as true consignment is concerned, now it has come that you are engaged with some dates also.
Again, at the cost of repetition, I would say,
Most of it, I am saying only for the purpose that he asked you, "Okay, you just look into it. What is about my status of my coal?"
and I updated the status. Not beyond that. Had I practically involved myself into it, had I done all the necessary processes for customs clearance, and then allegation is that why did you not charge any money? Probably the inference can be drawn that I was a part of conspiracy. But somebody is asking me to inquire. I make a call to this Rajesh Goba, is not picking up the call and I'm giving up. For the consignment of Khajur also, he's calling me. I tried to inquire. Nothing comes out. I give up. He says that you are a man who is capable of clearing. See, my March consignment is also not getting cleared. But you are the one who cleared my consignment, which is sent in June. You are very, very promptly clearing that consignment.
Because I have gone through the statement of both of A1, A3. On one hand, Mr. Kapade would be shaking his head in positive, but that is not the case. But at one point of time, they both are friends, good friends, having long relations. Now, when it comes to something incriminating, then there is a shift. Anyway, we can continue.
It's an entirely an aspect of behavioral psychology, but in the realm of law, I may just point out to the Honorable Court the statement of Rajkumar also. I would want to read from page number
No, we are
9.
going to now only for this only.
Yes, so this part only. So Sudhakar is explaining that why he got
Dates.
little bit involved in the consignment of dates as well as coal. Ultimately, he has not played any role. But yes, with whom he tried to talk, with whom he talked, all these details are coming up. And I have just explained to the Honorable Court the context of those consignments. Now I come to the statement of Mr. Raj. It is at page number 90, but I want to read only the paragraph at page number 92. Somewhere from, I used to inquire about products like coal, chemicals, etc. If I am with Honorable Court, it would be a line, probably 10th or 11th line from top. I used to inquire about the products like coal, chemicals. He used to reply promptly. This is in reference to Javed. Honorable Court may see the reference to Javed that I am in touch, since I am in touch with Mr. Javed telephonically as well as on WhatsApp chat, where Javed used to offer many products for trading like sulfur clinker. I used to inquire about products like coal, chemicals. He used to reply promptly. However, none could be concluded due to Iranian payment terms, high pricing. He was informative in giving the freight rates from Bandar Abbas and Turkey to Commonwealth and independent states country due to his own wide network of transportation. Mr. Javed used to explain about his difficulties working with the Indian CHA. CHA stands for Custom House Agents. One amongst that was the cargo delivered to the buyer on good faith due to the document issue and to avoid huge damage, but later on the buyer used to refuse to pay the charges after clearance. Simultaneously, he explained to refer the container containing dates. This is again important because this is the same container which is being talked about. The container containing dates lying in port uncleared, incurring huge damages. He requested me to find a person in India who can handle logistics and can help me to get the cargo cleared from the customs formality. After some time, maybe around May 21, Javed called me on my mobile and informed that he is having one consignment of semi-processed talcum stone for the shipment to India, and again asked me to recommend some suitable person in India for forthcoming shipment. I suggested the name of Sudhakar, who was looking for an opportunity, as I became the mediator between them for communication means on 31st of May 2021. So note the things are matching. That the date consignment was already lying since March 2021. It was not getting cleared. It was incurring huge demurrage charges. Once Sudhakar showed his skill in customs clearance processes, this guy is inquiring that please also clear my Khajur consignment. He's not doing anything, but he's just inquiring and then just leaving it midway. But in that reference, he's coming into the picture. Whatever other inference may be drawn, but Khajur is not a narcotic substance being used as a code word. That is my submission to the Honorable Court from reading of this particular paragraph. Now, as I have already shown to the Honorable Court that date, bill of lading and all, I would not be reading it again. Now I may point out to the court page number 96. Because apart from the allegation of importing narcotic substance, I am facing an allegation, I am facing the alleged charges for UAPA for terror funding. What have I derived? What am I left with? And where is the question of terror funding? This is Hassan Hussain Limited. Because he was not a big company. Ashi Trading was not that big company. He is maintaining the ledger in this format. Ultimately, what are the expenses he has incurred? He has written down. Ultimately, he has transferred 4,65,000 and some odd figure to Afghanistan. And what is cash in hand? That is 3,65,658. He is writing under his own signature that at present we are having 3,65,658 Indian rupees in hand. From the above amount of 365,658, we will give our service, we will get our service charges. Again, some explanation, more detailed breakup on the next page he has provided. But ultimately, the amount that he has transferred in Afghanistan is against a valid invoice. There is no terror funding. There is a funding for the consignment and for which there is a valid invoice. And as far as remaining amount is there, it is in his own hands. He has not done any kind of terror funding. Whereas for other accused persons, these details are coming out that they are personally involved in funding the terrorist or some terrorist organizations.
Put a question to you. Why did you transfer that amount to Afghanistan?
That is probably my defense. Except for me, nobody. My say and submission is that all other companies who were hand in gloves with the exporters.
So you transferred the money to Afghanistan.
Hassan Hussain Limited, the company who is an exporter.
Now, from where did you get this money?
Believing that I am talking to Amit, later on discovered that he is Hamid, and original his passport name is Khalid. He arranges somebody to transfer that amount through Angadia. I am receiving it in Chennai. For that also, I am giving the explanation that I was under the belief that because of this corona, all the networks are disrupted. I am insisting that you make the payment in my bank account. Somehow this Amit convinced Sudhakar that that is not possible, but you can get this amount in cash. Had I those intentions, I would have kept the amount with me. Had I any other intentions, why would I transfer that amount to Afghanistan? It will create a transaction. It will create a recorded transaction. But it is exactly the invoice amount with this Hassan Hussain Limited Afghanistan company is raising the invoice of, and that is the amount that I am transferring through SWIFT channel.
But you didn't get any buyer in India.
I have the answer to that effect.
You didn't get money from anyone because there was no purchaser for you. As per your say, the first consignment had gone in the name of Magent India.
The consignment had gone in the name of?
From 1st June consignment, it went to Delhi.
And
No.
somebody invoice was in the name of Kuldeep, but allegedly Kuldeep is a fictitious person.
Kuldeep is a
Fictitious person.
Now you didn't sell it to anyone in India. Meaning thereby, you have not received any money towards your sale if it is believed to be true.
If I put it differently, the consignment is imported by Ashi Trading. he is a buyer. Be it international trade or intranational trade, a buyer has to make the payment for the goods that he is purchasing. On record, I want to keep my books of account clean. Had it been an Indian seller also, I would have said the same thing, that in my ledger, this amount is showing as a debit amount. I have to make this payment. The same thing I am saying even when the supplier is from Afghanistan. Now, another question that is coming from the Honorable Court is that ultimately seller and buyer are arranged by this Javed. Seller is from Afghanistan,
Everything
the buyer
that
is
starts
from,
Afghanistan, it reaches here to the Afghani people
correct.
who have traveled.
But I
Now
was,
they make the payment to you either by using XYZ channels.
right. So here, the explanation to that effect is that even the intelligence which is received by DRI says that they are just IEC lender. Lordships, in this scenario of customs clearances, it is said that he is a IEC lender or custom clearance service provider. This is a sophisticated name. But custom clearance is a service that I was providing. I was not aware about the grave implications that would entail along with providing these services, because not as a CHA I am providing these services, but in the name of Ashi Trading I am importing. That was the biggest folly, but nothing beyond that, without any culpable animus, without any culpable intention, under the impression that these people are in dire search of a person who can import the consignment containing the talcum powder, that I am importing. But in this sophisticated terminology that people are using is customs clearance services.
A very sophisticated way to do it. See, Mundra November consignment was not a very small quantity.
It was a huge quantity, probably the largest by far.
Even if we believe everything, sophisticated everything, at least for one consignment, there is no doubt in the mind of anyone that it contains this much quantity of narcotics.
But that is the reason why the gravest question is posed as regards to the seal mismatch. If seals are mismatched, how can that imputation be leveled against the person who is importing it in the name of talcum powder? When it is cleared from Iran, it is shown as talcum powder. SGS is the worldwide reputed agency.
Yes, that is, everyone is worldwide recognized and well-known, renowned agency. We don't know right now if there were seal mismatch or not. The fact remains that this quantity of drug has arrived at India, at Mundra port. Now,
That's a fact.
That's a fact. We can't run.
We cannot run away.
Whoever has done it, not done it, guilty, not guilty.
We
In
cannot
your
run away
case,
from that.
no one can run away from it.
Yes,
The
sir.
entire cycle, if we forget the individual role, it makes a clear picture that a shipment starts from Afghanistan, it gets loaded at Iran, it reaches Mundra port or port at Kolkata. From there, it reaches to Delhi, where the Afghani nationals are
Have planned a hatched a big conspiracy.
There also they hire the go down. Remnants, everyone has argued. Individually, we are not considering that. When Mundra consignment is seized, then people start running who are involved in it. Some have escaped, some remained, some are arrested. Fact remains that there was a Hawala transaction, maybe by this mode or another mode. That would be a subject matter from the paper which we are going to see. And you being an ISC, you say that we permitted to give use our ISC merely for earning a 30,000, 40,000 rupees. If we believe your say, then this record, for what reason it came? If you were to get only 30,000 or 40,000 rupees per container, meaning thereby you did not purchase that good, because the fact shows that there is no buyer for you. You merely facilitated it. Now your account shows that you not merely facilitated, you have entered into a transaction. Maybe as per your submission, it was a legal transaction. Now there are two facts coming. One, you permitted to use your IEC code for a container to earn rupees 30,000, Corona time, very hard days. Secondly, now you say, okay, yes, I had sold to Kuldeep. In turn, I got money. I was not aware. I was innocent about the wanted accused number one. I was innocent about that fictitious person, whoever he may be. Now, everything, how it can be fictitious?
I can just answer it in very small submission.
And you were in contact through WhatsApp group.
I was in contact through a WhatsApp group where
And
there is
where
not even a
monitoring-
single word pertaining to narcotic substance. સાહેબ ખજૂરનો રેફરન્સ આવે છે તો
We
ખજૂર
forget
તો
khajur
ખજૂરના
also, we
રેફરન્સ
forget dates also, we forget chemical also. We are concerned with your two consignment only.
યસ સર.
We will not accept their belief that khajur was for narcotics. We forget that. But now, if we believe your first say, okay, you acted only for 30,000-40,000 rupees commission, then your account, where you have, see, if you were only to earn the commission, you would have not make the payment to Hassan Hussain Shah. Normal business. મારે કમિશન લેવાનું છે તો મારી કમિશન કે દલાલી આટલી થાય.
સાહેબ જે બાયર હોય there are definitely two angles to look at the same thing. સાહેબ મારું સબમિશન એવું છે કે જો મારા નામે પરચેસ થયું હોય, if it is purchased in my name, that is આશી ટ્રેડિંગ for sure. So સાહેબ આશી ટ્રેડિંગ એ રૂપિયા ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા પડે. માણસ ખરેખર જો ક્રિમિનલ ઇન્ટેન્શન ધરાવતો હોય તો વોટ્સએપ ચેટ ડિલીટ કરી નાખે. સાહેબ કોઈ રેકોર્ડેડ ટ્રેલ ઓફ બેન્કિંગ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન ના રાખે. In fact, I had an opportunity to study about this methods of money laundering, which is not the case we are right now dealing with, but there is a biggest area of trade-based money laundering. સાહેબ માલ મોકલી દેવાનો, books of account ની અંદર એક always entry open રહેશે, પરંતુ એના રૂપિયા નહીં મોકલવાના કારણ કે બીજો એક હવાલો થઈ ગયો હશે.
Everything would be clear. Even if we go by the audited accounts, you won't be able to point out that this is, everything would be fine and okay. With this angle, the court has to look into it.
Right. I make my submissions, court may deal with them.
Because that is the money laundering. We have to, even you will have to look into this with the aspect of money laundering. It
Sir,
would be-
definitely.
It would be beyond our imagination because we are aware of the normal business.
Sir, court
They
may
say it's a
imagine the
majority.
scale how if there was a narcotic substance for sure, alleged value of that narcotic substance was 21,000 CR. How would that amount get transferred to Afghanistan? Maybe at a discounted rate. Sahib, this is trade-based money laundering. આમાં હું તો નાનો માણસ છું, મને એમ છે હું ટેલકમ પાવડર મંગાઈ રહ્યો છું. I am transferring that amount to the Afghan-based supplier.
Because we are not concerned with, see, દારૂ વેચવો, 5 બોટલ બાપુનગરમાંથી લઈને બોપલ પહોંચાડવાની છે.
It's a different thing.
એ આપણી સમજમાં આવે. Here, it starts from A and reaches via JK to A.
My whole sincere endeavor is, of course, as a lawyer for the defense, I would always believe that I am making submission for discharge. But if at all I can convince the honorable court for 2-3 less sections to be imputed against this guy, then also, it will be probably my great legal service to him.
No, I'm not.
I'm
See,
submitting to the honorable court that
I'm also open. Therefore, I am telling. Otherwise, I am fully aware. I should not tell anything to anyone because everyone are very smart enough.
No. In fact, this kind of the open, fair discussion that is helping even us to assist the honorable court, and it is taken in a very positive sense only. So, in that reference, so at least Khajur and this whole part stands clear. The explanation qua cash that I received, cash that I was having in my hand, that stands cleared. Now, the last part that I have to point out is the seal mismatch part, because the allegation by NIA or the submission by NIA is that seal were always the way in which they were found in a mismatch condition. It was just that punching of the seals were wrongly made. So for seal A, there was container A, there was seal 1. No, there was never seal 1. It was seal 2 only, but it was wrongly punched as seal 1 and vice versa. That is the submission of the NIA. Therefore, I have to point out the trail of 3 documents to the court. 99, page number 99. The cargo manifest, it's a manifest which is filled up when a consignment is loaded in Iran.
Yes.
સાહેબ હું છેલ્લા ખાલી 2 આંકડા વાંચીશ. 90 ની સામે 42 છે અને 39 ની સામે 41 છે. કોર્ટ કેન કમ્પેર કન્ટેનર નંબર અને સીલ નંબર 6-7 આંકડાના સીલ નંબર છે, કદાચ એનાથી મોટા, એટલે હું આખા નથી વાંચતો, બટ અગેન્સ્ટ 90 there is 42 અને અગેન્સ્ટ 39 there is 41. This is in Iran, maybe wrongly punched. Now when it comes to India, it is when it is loaded in the vessel inter Sydney, again court may see the container and seal number. Against 90 there is 42, against 39 there is 41. એટલે સાહેબ ઈરાનમાંથી શિપમાં ચડ્યા ત્યારે વાંચવામાં ભૂલ થઈ ગઈ, એવું કેવું છે એનઆઈએનું. There are the stages of cross verification. અને જ્યારે પણ મિસમેચ ફાઇન્ડ થાય ત્યારે તો સિસ્ટમ આખી સાહેબ એલર્ટ થઈ જાય છે. અહીંયા પણ સાહેબ 90 ની સામે 42, 39 ની સામે 41 છે.
Yes.
હવે સાહેબ અહીંયા જ્યારે કાર્ગો આવે ત્યારે મારે ડેક્લરેશન ફાઇલ કરવાનું હોય, ત્યાં હું પણ એ જ ડેક્લરેશન ફાઇલ કરું છું ઇન ફોર્મ 3 એટ પેજ નંબર 103. આગલું પાનું છે ફોર્મલ પાનું છે, એટલે 101, 102 હું નથી વાંચતો, 103 માં લઈ જાઉં છું. સાહેબ 39 ની સામે 41 અને 90 ની સામે 42. તો સાહેબ હું તો એવું કહું જ છું કે ભાઈ હું આ પ્રમાણે સીલ હોય તેવા કન્ટેનર ઇમ્પોર્ટ કરી રહ્યો છું. So my say and submission is I am not importing the goods where the seal is mismatched. It cannot be imputed onto me. Now, terminal tally sheet at 105. સાહેબ મેં તો ફોર્મ ભરી દીધું, કદાચ મારી ભરવામાં ભૂલ થઈ ગઈ, ઇરાનિયન ઓથોરિટીઝની ત્યાં વેરીફાઈ કરવામાં ભૂલ થઈ ગઈ, વેસલ ઓથોરિટીની ભૂલ થઈ ગઈ, પણ જ્યારે ટર્મિનલ ઉપર અનલોડ થાય છે ત્યારે સાહેબ સિરિયલ નંબર 565 આપ સાહેબ જુઓ. આપ સાહેબ જોશો તો અહીંયા ટર્મિનલમાં ટેલી શીટમાં સાહેબ દેખાશે 90 ની સામે સીલ નંબર 42 છે. બંનેની વચ્ચે 3 કોલમ આવે છે સાહેબ, કન્ટેનર નંબર અને સીલ નંબરની વચ્ચે વચમાં 3 કોલમ છે, એને સ્કીપ કરો તો 90 ની સામે 42 અને 39 ની સામે 41. તો સાહેબ ઇન્ડિયામાં લેન્ડ થાય છે ત્યાં સુધી આ જ સ્થિતિ છે. So 39 ની સામે 41 મિસમેચ ક્યારે થયું? Honorable Court may see at page number 108. હવે સાહેબ 13 સપ્ટેમ્બરના, અને એમાં પણ નહીં, બે સેકન્ડ માટે પહેલા પેજ પર આપ વાપસ જતા રહેશો સાહેબ તો તમને એનો ડેટ પણ જોવા મળી જશે.
Page
105.
105.
એમાં સાહેબ મારી ડેટ આપ સાહેબ જુઓ, મારે બતાવવાની રહી ગઈ.
Yes, yes.
11/9/23. સાહેબ 11/9/23 સુધી તો the journey begins in Iran and when it lands in India on 11/9 ત્યાં સુધી સાહેબ બધું પરફેક્ટ છે. Seals are not mismatched. All of a sudden customs authorities realize that there is a seal mismatch. અને એ 108 ઉપર 13 સપ્ટેમ્બરના રોજ 2021 please refer to the facility notice issued by the Principal Commissioner of Customs, Customs House, Mundra, on above mentioned subject. In this connection, following containers with seal mismatch, seal damage, scanning mismatch have been arrived at CFS under your charge. સાહેબ એમાં છેલ્લી બે એન્ટ્રી છે આપ જુઓ, ફિઝિકલ સીલ નંબર પછી એક્ચ્યુઅલ સીલ નંબર, અને એ જે મિસમેચ થયેલું છે ઇન ટ્રાન્ઝિટ સીલ અને ફિઝિકલ સીલ. તો સાહેબ 39 ના કન્ટેનરની અંદર ઇન ટ્રાન્ઝિટ સીલ 41 હતું એવું કહે છે, બટ છેવટે ફિઝિકલ સીલ 42 થઈ ગયું છે. અને સેમ વે 90 નંબરના સીલની સામે ઇન ટ્રાન્ઝિટ સીલ જે હોવું જોઈતું હતું એ 42 હોવું જોઈતું હતું, એની જગ્યાએ 41 થઈ ગયું છે. સાહેબ આટલી મોટી કોન્સ્પિરસીનો મારી સામે આરોપ હોય તો આ પાર્ટ કેમ ઇન્વેસ્ટિગેટિંગ એજન્સી, that too having all the resources at national level, all the technological tools at national level. સાહેબ even DRI is also very sophisticated agency. 11 સપ્ટેમ્બર સુધી સીલ મેચિંગ થતું હોય, 13 સપ્ટેમ્બરે સીલ મિસમેચ થાય, તો why can a possibility not be ruled out that stuffing was done in between after the consignment reached to Mundra? Why not? સાહેબ મારો તો ડિફેન્સ જ એમાં છે. કોર્ટની વેરી પ્રિસાઇઝ ક્વેરી ઇઝ કે one has to agree that goods are found, containers are found with narcotic substance. I cannot run away. But have I imported that? Can I be said to have imported? I can be said to imported only what I have filled up by way of a form 3 and which is annexed at page number 105, 103. હું તો સાહેબ આ જ ડિક્લેર કરું છું કે ભાઈ મેં આ કન્ટેનર વિથ આ સીલ મેં ઇમ્પોર્ટ કર્યું છે. વચમાં કોઈ ગાલમેલ કરી દે તો એના માટે મને જવાબદાર ના ઠેરવી શકાય. There is some conspiracy. There is some foul play. Who has played it? That needs to be investigated by the investigation agency, where they have miserably failed. And Sahib, for Sudhakar, now the last submission, Sudhakar, and probably it would link Vaishali. So for Sudhakar and Vaishali, his last submission, just for some persuasive value, 98 number upar Sahib. It may be noted that 18 June na રોજ Sudhakar message કરી રહ્યો છે સનાડ shipping ને. This is very important because for the first consignment, the person who opened the consignment first is Mayank Bhanushali. He says that there was no pungent smell. સાહેબ એ કન્ટેક્સમાં હું આપ સાહેબને કહી રહ્યો છું. 18 જૂનના એ શું કહે છે? If there is any delay in clearing the cargo, please check how many free days are available for the container before start demurrage. Arrange to unload in the closed CFS warehouse to avoid the demurrage charges of the container. Please make sure that the material should be covered in the covered and dry area. સાહેબ જો મને ખબર હોય કે કન્સાઇનમેન્ટ ની અંદર આ પ્રકારે નાર્કોટિક સબસ્ટન્સ છે તો હું ફ્રી પેડ વગેરે ઉપર હું ફોકસ કર્યા વગર એવું કહું કે ભાઈ એને તમે બોન્ડેડ વેરહાઉસ ની અંદર જેટલો ખર્ચો થતો એ રાખો, પરંતુ તમે જલ્દીથી જલ્દી એને પેમેન્ટ કરીને એક બાજુમાં મુકાઈ દો. હું સાહેબ ફ્રી મને જેટલી ફ્રી ફેસિલિટી મળે છે એ લેવા જાઉં, હું એવું કહું કે ભાઈ ડેમરેજ ચાર્જીસ અવોઇડ કરો, આ બધામાં હું પડું સાહેબ. 21,000 કરોડના કન્ટેનર્સ હોય ને મને કન્ટેનર ચાર્જીસની ચિંતા થતી હોય. This is only for the persuasive value. Answer could be maybe. But my persuasion to the Honorable Court is that no, context would reveal that I never knew that this contained a narcotic substance. Now, for Sudhakar and Vaishali, my rejoinder is over. Only qua Pradeep, I have to point out one important thing. And Sahib, I heard, I was not present, but in YouTube proceedings, I heard that Pradeep ran away the moment he comes to know that the September consignment is going to be opened and it is going to be done 100% examination. Admittedly, that examination has taken place on 13th of September 2021. What is the background context? Statement of Shri Rahul, son of Kuldeep Singh, 79 number na page. આમાં એકમાત્ર submission છે, આમાં લાંબુ કશું જ નથી સાહેબ. Yes. Statement of Rahul, son of Sandeep Singh. He says, on being asked, I state that I, Rahul, live at above said address. I am an employee of property dealer Sukhbir Man, who is my maternal uncle. The office address is at so and so. Prior to this, I used to work at my father's fields in village. On being asked, I state that in the month of May 21, 3%, namely Pradeep Saeed and one more person whose name I do not know, but he seemed to be an Afghan national, came to our office of Shubham Properties and asked for a godown space. Sukhbir Man directed me to show the godown spaces available with us, out of which one was that of Shri Dhakad, who had already requested our office to provide the client for a vacant godown in Alipur, which was approximately 500 meters from his office. Dhankad sent one of his boys to open the godown to show this to these 3 persons. The same was shown to them and they went away saying that they would call back later. After 2 days, I got a call from Pradeep stating that he wanted to meet Mr. Dhankad and fix the godown for rent. All 3 persons came to our office and from there, Shri Pradeep only came along with me to Dhankad's office, which is situated at SDM office Alipur. The 2 other Afghani nationals remained behind in their car. Also, they came in. Shri Pradeep settled the rent at 80,000 rupees per month. he paid 1,60,000 in cash to Dhankad toward 1 month's advance and 1 month's security deposit. And but I cannot finalized to take the godown on rent from 1st of June 2021. So this is the background in which the Pradeep rented the godown in his name. Two persons were continuously accompanying him. He was doing it for them. Now, page number 80, next page. I further state that in the first week of September, this is important. September na pehla week ma sahib, Pradeep called up Mr. Sukhbir Man stating that they wish to vacate the godown, stating that their business was not working well. Sukhbir asked me to inform the same to Dhankad. Then on 10th December, Pradeep called me up and informed that he wants to hand over the godown keys and electricity bill money. I told him to hand over the keys and electricity bill money directly to Mr. Dhankad. So beyond this, I don't want to show anything. But here I want to point out and argue that, સાહેબ, કન્સાઇનમેન્ટ 100% એક્ઝામિન થવાનું છે. ન્યૂઝ જ સાહેબ 13 તારીખે રિલીઝ થયા છે. 10 તારીખે કોઈને ખબર નથી કે આની અંદર નાર્કોટિક સબસ્ટન્સ મળવાનું છે. તેમ છતાં 10 તારીખે ધંધો નથી ચાલતો, જેથી કરીને પ્રદીપે આ ચાવીઓ હેન્ડઓવર કરેલી છે. Therefore, my CN submission is that Pradeep's culpable animus, Pradeep's knowledge about the consignment containing narcotic, all these theories would be washed away because of this date on which he has handed over the keys to Mr. Dhankad. Sahib, knowledge comes prior, action comes subsequently. But here the action is first and thereafter the knowledge. એટલે સાહેબ એ વસ્તુ જે પ્રોજેક્ટ કરવાની કોશિશ થઈ રહી છે, સાહેબ એ in my respectful submission, સાહેબ, that is wrong. Pradeep was never aware that the other Afghan persons with whom for some remuneration he got the office rented, the godown rented, was ever used for narcotic substance. My first sane submission is the first consignment never had narcotic substance, and second submission is Pradeep never knew that second consignment is going to have narcotic substance. It is not in that reference that this action is taken. Dates would reveal everything. Lord, I must acknowledge and my sincere gratitude for this.
યસ, તમારે હવે કોઈ એક્યુઝ સાઈડે કોઈ છે? બાકી નથી ને? નો નો.
May I make one request? I have one matter in High Court. Can I rush to the court? I will see the proceedings in YouTube.
You can leave, but don't rush.
I'm immensely obvious.
By the time you read, the court time would get.
Probably. But I have asked that matter may be kept at the bottom of the board. So probably I may be able to attend that. I'm immensely obvious.
So now this is rejoinder to rejoinder.
Hello.
Yes, so you were hearing the arguments.
I was right.
And you will confine your rejoinder only to the rejoinder only.
Definitely. Bharat, may I just take my lord to the reply? To the reply.
Yes, yes.
May I take my notes to the reply that we have filed below the discharge application, just on few points, which will cover all the arguments that he has faced against given in it.
So first is about seal mismatch.
I don't know, as far as regarding the field mismatch, my lord, the document that has been pointed out by the learned friend at page number 103, 105, and 108. He's just trying to place the argument as if the mismatch has happened in between the transit, which is not the case. Only the field, my submission again is the same thing, my lord, that I was earlier said. That 942 and 941, the TTN container, bearing number TTN 941 and GVU. So the mismatch happened while it was the which was as a port of leaving, my lord. And therefore the declaration did not have this. The declaration was something different. So it was never in the transit that it was open. The seals were intact, my lord. When the customs checked, the seals were intact. So whenever the seals have been placed, it is not that the seals were broken. It was verified. It is in the report of Mr. Meena, the DRI officer. And there is a 100% Pachnama they have pointed out, my lord, as to how the seals have been opened. There is photography as with respect to the seal. This mismatch, due to the mismatch with seal and due to the intel that was generated by the Hyderabad PRI, the container was put on hold, my lord, and that is how the inspections were done. They were having some input. So this could never be a point as far as the 103, 105, 108 of his compilation page number that he has submitted. As far as the seal mismatch is concerned, the seals were intact. They were not broken. Only they have been interchanged. That is my position. May I just point out, my lord, my reply?
Yes, in your reply, how have you dealt with this point of mismatch in your affidavit?
My lord, we have taken the conspiracy as a whole and we have maintained it at page number 12 of my reply, my lord, 11 is start.
So far as this seal,
Then I still.
I'm asking you
Yes,
about
my lord. Yes, my lord.
seal mismatch aspect only.
But as a whole, we have taken this conspiracy, my lord. We have not pointed out on each aspect of the field mismatch and everything. It was in the course of the argument that my learned friend has pointed out. We have countered in the argument, my lord. In my reply, my lord, the entire conspiracy has been shared out. So how
Conspiracy aspect is not
what
covered.
was established by this investigation, my lord? How the conspiracy and how the knowledge would transcribe to Sudhakar, his wife, and Perumal, as well as the WA1 and WA2, my lord. My lord, there are just few points, my lord, Roman 1 to Roman.
No,
In a glance, my lord.
no, we will not take a glance. That has already been done.
There is no order for this particular Salstone and the reverse entity. My lord was also asked one question regarding the same, that if there was some discrepancy, why have you not stopped? Earlier also, he is now admitting that there is the wet date consignment he tried to clear. So there is a communication between Hussain Das, Jawad Najami. All I'm pointing out that from his admission itself, it is clear.
No,
That they are in contact with.
we are concerned with only seal match aspect only, nothing else.
But
So as per your
the
say
seals
that
were intact, my lord. It
Panchanama was
only a
drawn,
mismatch. They were never
seals
tampered.
were intact and
The container was never opened, my lord. The seals were intact, my lord. There was only a mismatch. As far as the GVU and TTN containers, one should have a 941 bearing seal number ending with, and the other one should have 942. But instead of that, they were just cross marked, my lord. At the bill of, at the port of loading. And as for the bill of lading, the mismatch there was in the declaration. So the container never was opened. It was checked thoroughly by the DRI when it was kept in the system of identification in Modra. So that suspicion goes away, my lord.
So
That's very
your argument is that there was mismatch in the while mentioning in the declaration
My lord, my lord,
and not on the consignment.
my lord. That's all, my lord. As far as this matter is concerned.
And you just something you pointed out. Okay, so far as on this, there was a mismatch in the declaration that give a suspicious by the DRI at Kolkata or Hyderabad.
But in Hyderabad, as he said, there is a statement of Mr. Tina, the officer who has done this PC. And I have also pointed out, my lord, from the document itself. I just refer to those,
So the input which was received by Mr. Meena.
but there is intelligence input, my lord.
Hmm.
Which has been mentioned in the document, my lord, against the accused. In the character of evidence, my lord. I did point out, my lord.
Yes, yes. And he came to know that there was a seal mismatch.
My lord, in the intelligence input itself, Vijay Kumar Satyaki, my lord, the document, there was a credible input. It is in volume 9, my lord, of the main charge sheet, annexure B, page 3178, my lord.
3178.
My lord.
And this Vijay Kumar tells about the mismatch.
The entire intelligence input again, my lord, there are, in volume number 9, my lord, annexure B. If my lord, what I can read those portions, my lord.
You can just mention because I have taken your argument that it was mismatch in the declaration and not on the containers.
My lord, my lord.
Okay. Okay, so now you can come to Pradeep. In
As
Rejoinder,
far as the document that has been pointed out, my learned friend, is only the statement of Rahul.
yes.
He mentions that
Now,
he
yes,
wanted to vacate, my lord.
he pointed out that implication of Pradeep is on the basis that when he came to know about the Mundra seizure, he immediately left the godown without informing anyone.
My lord.
Now, this statement of this Rahul Kuldeep Singh,
My lord.
it prima
That is
facie
the
reveals
position,
that
my lord.
no, it is the statement of Rahul that Pradeep had told him that as the business was not going well, he wanted to vacate the godown. So this was
But there are other,
yes.
but there are other statements, my lord, which have to be seen. Which is the statement most importantly of Ramdari Singh, my lord, which is at volume 5A, 1358. I have already
Yes.
realized that, my lord, and I have for the post perusal, my lord, submitted it on the phone of my lord. The statement is at 1358, my lord, annexure A, volume 5 of the main charge.
Okay. Statement of
That is
Ramdari.
1358.
Statement of Ramdari.
Ramdari Singh Dhankar. The Ramdari Singh Dhankar, my lord.
Yes, yes.
He's the godown owner, my lord.
Okay. Any other statement you want to refer?
But his statement is the most important one. As far as the case,
Yes.
14th September, my lord, as far as this, my lord, from the statement that I am pointing out, my lord, that on the 14th September, Pradeep Kumar from his mobile number 9961, my lord, informs that I am vacating the premises and he handed over the keys, my lord. That is on 14th of September, my lord. So kindly appreciate that, please. 13th September, my lord, the container is taken to the CFS. 14th, he vacates that. Only from the house statement, it is the intention that he wants to vacate, my lord. But prior to that, my lord, already in the July month, Ali and they have already escaped. So this consignment, even if he's not aware of the same, why does he come on 14th and give it? So there is instructions to him to immediately give away the keys, my lord. And therefore on 14th he gives away keys to Ramtari Singh. They go down over.
Okay.
And
Yes.
from there, my lord, there is a recovery of heroin from the floor shooting, my lord. So the godown was still in their control, my lord. And the possession was there. It was a controlled possession of the entire godown. The keys were with him till 14th of September. And therefore that recovery will always be attributed to them. That's my approach.
It was also his contention that if the narcotics was found from the floor sweeping, why this accused person would left those remnants there, which is of a very higher amount.
Or else while moving or while processing matter, there are SBP bags, heavy bags, and then thereafter they are moved into smaller bags. Now, how that was done, my lord, that still remains a big question mark as far as what they have done, how they have moved, my lord.
Mm.
So obviously, my lord, the heroin would have, while processing this, was there on the floor, and therefore the recovery of that, as well as the white powdery substance, the dark stone, that was also mentioned in the report, my lord. So it is not only that the heroin is recovered, my lord, the white powdery substance is also there from the report, my lord, the RTL report. So the combination of that was there on the floor, my lord. Now that is their argument that they have not cleared it, my lord. They would have cleared it, but they have not, therefore we found it, my lord.
So there is
My
no-
submission is, my lord, 14th September, he had the keys of the godown. He was in the possession. He was about to give as far as the statement of Rahul is concerned, which my learned friend has pointed out. But the godown owner has received the keys on 14th of September, my lord. And the mobile number that he has called is 9961, which is of Pradeep Kumar. He himself goes and hands over the key to the godown owner, Ramtari Singh. So in all, my lord, and during that period, my lord, this Syed Mohammed Hussaini, his handler, was very much in contact with him and the other conspirators, my lord. That is part of the record, my lord, which I
Now, there is one more argument, not on his side, but on behalf of Mr. Oja, that even if we believe that the transaction was suspicious with regard to import of the semi-processed stone. Now, there might be number of reasons for a person to indulge himself into a suspicious transaction. But that itself cannot be sufficient to book him under the narcotics, because they didn't had any knowledge that they were in possession of the consignment contained narcotic, and it is very strongly argued,
but
because he also pointed out that I may, to avoid custom duty, I may smuggle XYZ items, which might not be a contraband.
there are certain statements, my lord, which have relied in my compilation, my lord.
Yes.
The last compilation that, my lord, we had placed before the honorable court, with the kind permission of the honorable court, which carries the index, my lord. As far as the Sarpreet Singh Talwar, 824, 825 Prince Sharma, Sushanta Sarkar, and this three recharge could be disposed of by the single compilation, my lord. For the convenience of the court, my lord, from that state compilation, my lord, there are few statements which will have to be referred by my lord As far as Amit is concerned,
compilation,
there is one
which is
statement
that,
of one Mr. Amit Pilot.
in a moment, which is that compilation, last compilation?
My lord, it goes into my lord 465 pages, my lord. The compilation was provided to my lord in soft, my lord.
Okay. And you want to read whose statement?
My lord, it's a statement of Mr. Amit.
Okay.
He is an employee, my lord. There are several such employees. One is
You can just mention the names of the witnesses statement. One is Amit.
very well, my lord.
થોડુંક વધારે. Yes.
It's at 311, my lord. And another is, my lord, statement of Mr. Ajay Kumar, my lord, 317, page number 317, my lord.
Okay,
of that
Ajay Kumar.
compilation. My lord, this is at page 317 of that file. The index is also provided. But Mr. Kaplia could also provide it right now, my lord. I'll request him to provide, my lord.
એમાં જે સ્ટેટમેન્ટ રિફર કરવા આના કોન્ટેક્સ્ટમાં કે ડુબિયસ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન કે સેલ કંપની બીજા કોઈ પર્પઝ માટે પણ કરી હોય.
My lord.
આમાં નોલેજ નથી એને કે નાર્કોટિક્સ છે, ટેક્સ એવોઇડ કરવા તો ઘણાથી કર્યું હોય પણ વિધાઉટ નોલેજ, then he can be booked for custom offenses or XYZ offenses, but not at least for UAP or NDPS. એના સંદર્ભે કીધું છે. એટલે નોલેજનો આસ્પેક્ટ છે, મેન્સ એરિયા, નોલેજ, ઇન્ટેન્શન, અલ્ટિમેટલી મેન્સ એરિયા અને નોલેજ ઓફ એના સંદર્ભે જે સ્ટેટમેન્ટ ઉપર રિલાય કરો છો એ જે સ્ટેટમેન્ટ મને કહી દો. Just that ends now your argument.
My lord, at 321, my lord, is the document at 321. I just refer to why they do this transaction. The witness is an employee, my lord. Now, what the witness has to state from the statement itself is very clear, my lord. He could reveal that the entire transaction
Yes.
from the shell companies, how Kabir Dalbar would indulge many persons, including his relatives, friends, used to take and he used to have the direct control of those companies. So one thing is very clear, the shell companies are run by Kabir Dalbar. All the control and command is in his own hands. The statement is corroborated from the statement of his own accountant, Mr. X3, the protected witness, my lord. He would also reveal the same fact. He would corroborate in material particulars about the modus of Kabir Dalbar of taking the companies in his own hands through his friends and relatives, not paying the custom duties, the export charges for the consignment. And my lord, the accounts were never settled
Yes, sir, that we have.
by anybody. My lord. Apart from that, that statement at 321 of the compilation, Ajay Kumar, would reveal that the consignment contained heroin. So he knows this fact. And my lord, it is not that his employees are also not this fact. And there is a 164 statement of receipt.
ચાલો તમે ખાલી એ પેલા નામ જ આપો.
The last compilation may be seen, my lord, as far as this statement
Yes.
by the name 30 as well. The detailed conspiracy from page 1 to 440, 465 will translate from the event minor from the November consignment to the December consignment. All that we have flagged for the convenience of the court, my lord. The road challan also is a part of it. The six consignment electronic details are provided, my lord.
Yes, sir.
All that is applicable. Okay.
ટાઈમ ને બંધ રિમાન્ડ ચાલો
નથી એ સંદર્ભમાં
કઈ નથી
તો ક્લિયર કટ લો નથી મળતો આપ કહો છો એમ મુજબ સર એટલા માટે જે છે એ આભાર સર
ફર્ધર તમારે નથી કઈ ફર્ધર નથી
ફર્ધર કે
છે જ નહીં
લો બાબત મને કોઈ સપોર્ટ નથી કરતો
બસ તમારે કઈ કેવું છે વધારે
બસ
નહીં
એમનો જે સેક્શન છે એમાં ક્લિયર કટ જ છે
પરમ દિવસે
જી